Good evening. Welcome along then to SEFC Fan TV and another edition of the Sunday Bunch, where we're all together to discuss all things Sunderland. So tonight, with myself, Philly, we have Michael Bowers, we have Sean Middleton, we've got Jacob Kirkbride, we have the Mad Mistake, and joining us tonight because Dino is not available, we got our special guest. Let's hear it for Jack Dodds.
Hey! Nice one.
Top bloke.
Jack, of course, if you watch Sean's interviews, you'll have seen Jack quite a few times giving his opinion. And because he did such a good job on there, we've decided to invite him onto the channel as well. The Mad Mistake, yes.
I just want to know, is Jack old enough to come on the channel? Looks about 12.
Just a Ben.
Well, we've only got him on because he had a babysitter lined up. So there you go. Thanks for that, Jack. And don't forget, of course, you can join us on the live chat. We are live. So if you want to join in the show, just get yourself on the live chat and we'll do our best to try and include you. Already, before we start, Casey, Cameron, Jude, hello to you. Thane, hello as well. And David Walker already said hi. Michael, you're desperate to get in already?
Yeah. I just realised. Hang on, we can't pick on Jacob as the youngest of the group anymore, can we?
Exactly. I was saying.
Sorry, Jack. You've let yourself in.
Now have to use the Arsenal thing even more. Like
they're on the accumulator today, so I'm happy for that.
Right.
Yeah, you don't like Man United, do you?
Right. So what we're going to do? We're going to start with yesterday, of course, early kickoff, Gillingham, and it was Gillingham 0, Sunderland 2. Of course, everybody's going to be really happy with everything. We normally go through the predictions. We'll quickly go through those predictions, what people said. Mad Mistake said 2-1 Sunderland. Dino said 1-1. Conrad, our editor, who was on in place of Sean, said 1-1. Jacob said 2-1 to Sunderland. Michael Bowers said 2-1 to Gillingham. All right. And the only person who got it absolutely spot on, 100% record, 2-0, I said. And Sean, if you could have predicted yesterday, what was you going to say?
Right, well, Dave the Raven batters up there, and I said the score before the game. I said 2-0 to Sunderland.
Well, we're not phoning Dave the Raven up to find out if you're lying or not. Anyway, so 2-0 win. Everybody's happy, surely. Jacob, we're going to start with you. What did you think?
Yeah, good result. It was always going to be a difficult game despite Gillingham's poor run of form. They lost their previous 4, but they're a very physical side and we had to match them in the right way. I think Parkinson's tactics and his team selection was picked in order to cope with that. The quality wasn't the best in the final third, particularly in the first half in terms of our crossing and finishing. I know Luke O'Nien had that header in the far corner, which, according to some fans on social media, should have stood. But second half, it was basically about getting the job done. When you come up against a physical side like that, they were down to 10 men. You've got to take advantage. I knew the pressure we put on their defence, eventually it will pay off. We won the penalty. Chris Maguire, cool as you like, coming off the bench, slotting it in the corner. And then Lyndon Gooch on the counter-attack, game, set and match. 2-0, can't ask for any more from the boys from Saturday's game, but Tuesday night's going to be huge now. Parkinson, I think, will change things up a little bit. I think he'll go more attacking with his team selection, but yeah, Tuesday's going to be huge now.
Right, fair dues. Quickly on the chat, giving people a mention down here. Glyn Jones, hello. Johnny Thorns, evening, lads. Johnny Thorns is a mate of yours, isn't he, Sean?
No, it's one of mine.
Oh, it's one of your. Sorry, Jacob. One of your mates down there. Thane, our friend, says, how's our number one grafter doing today? Fantastic. It was a day off. I've actually had a day off. Sean, you're not the grafter, man. I'm doing a proper job here. And we've got to say hi to our serial online shopper, Andrew Robbins, as joined us on the chat as well. So, Gillingham 0, Sunderland 2. Michael Bowers.
Good result. We needed that. after what's been two very, very disappointing results, especially the Rochdale one, because I was more angry at that result than I was the Portsmouth one. Was it a great performance? In some respects, yes, because we obviously had 20 shots, only 3 of them on target, though. Well, Terry, you're pulling the face. Go look at the stats. The stats actually said we had 20 shots, which I didn't think we had 20 shots. It didn't look like it watching the game.
I was just pulling the face at the great performance.
Okay. Terry, okay, just to annoy Terry, it was a fantastic performance, a very comfortable result in the end. We did deserve the win because we obviously had a bit more quality than Gillingham. But let's be honest, if we didn't beat Gillingham, something would have been seriously wrong, with all due respect. Because the reason I said 2-1 Gillingham was because Gillingham on a bad run of form. Oh, they've lost 4 games in a row. Oh, they've got injuries. Along comes Sunderland. We've seen it so many times where Sunderland's like, oh, you want your first win? Here you go. There it is on a platter. We'll not bother to try and take advantage of it. But good result. We need, like I said, we did need it. I think it was a bit lethargic, especially first 25 minutes. I thought it was all Gillingham. Even though, going to contradict myself, they didn't really create as much as what they probably would have wanted to do at home. Then I think Sunderland grew into the game. And as Sean said, I think Josh Scowen had a couple of really good chances, especially one in the first half when it was 11v11, he should have scored. And one, I think it was not long after Gillingham's red cards that, let's be honest, if he pokes that on target, it's a goal. So more than likely. There are still things I think that do need to be addressed and need to improve on, but ultimately we got the win. Good breakaway goal from Gooch. Keeping a clean sheet, important. Hopefully we get back into the habit of doing that again and on a regular basis. But yeah, you can't complain. We needed it. Move on to Ipswich.
Right, fair point. Quickly on the chat then, Alan Gardner says, shame on you, Michael Bowers, 2-1 Gillingham. But to be fair to Michael, he did say he was doing on the reverse psychology thing of he always tips Sunderland to win, so he decided to go against us, and so we've all got Michael to thank for that.
Right, I'll just go against us
on Saturday because he predicted 2-1. Chris Scott on the chat says up by Easter. So Jack Dodds, our guest for this evening, what did you think of Saturday?
I think going into the game, anything less than a win would have been a huge disappointment. No disrespect to Gillingham. I think since their new manager came in last season, they're really strong. Obviously, they put a real challenge up to us when it was them who potentially kept us in the league. Really, if we'd won that game, if Mandon hadn't scored that goal in the last minute, would we have then went to Bristol Rovers and got another 3 points, and would we have been in the playoffs? So I think it was going to be. It wasn't going to be an easy game, but you would expect us to take all 3 points. I think the first 10 to 20 minutes, Gillingham were the slight better team. I think we then really got a foothold in the game. I think for the remaining 70 minutes or so after that point, we were the better team. However, one thing I would say is that I don't think we forced the win. I think Gillingham were the real architects in their own downfall, in that if it hadn't been for them missing the penalty, getting the red card, which maybe even came as a result of it, if you look at a domino effect, I think it was the red card that then put them under a bit of pressure. They were on the back foot. We went through. Obviously, White won the penalty. If they had 11 men on the pitch, would we have been able to get the ball in the box at that moment? And would the defender have had to overcommit? I don't know. So, as much as I was happy with the win, a slight, tiny negative part of us thought, well, I think Gillingham were the architects of their own downfall, in that they really give us the chance to win the game. And obviously the second goal, it was great grafting from Gooch. I thought Maguire did well to pull away as well, which brought a defender over, and Gooch was able to go through and score. But that's because they were overcommitting, because it was in the final minutes of the game and in the end of the second goal. So I was happy that we got the 3 points, which was fully expected, and it was absolute minimum I would have took yesterday. But as I say, on a slightly more negative note, I think Gillingham really aided us well in the game.
Well, I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, I mean, should we not be giving Lee Birch credit for saving the penalty? And so it's I get what you're saying. Quickly, back on the chat, thing down here. Terry, Halloween's over. Can you take your take your costume off, Pally. That's a little bit.
Nah, it's buggered off.
That's a little bit cheeky there. Well done, Thane. Mad mistake then yesterday. You must be all happy now, surely. 2-0 win. Go on then.
Well, that's like I said before, we're an average side in a poor league.
Oh,
Ledbetter, I think Parkinson, yes, did the right thing. Dropped the 2 players that were the worst players against Rochdale. Power and Dobson were poor against. I give Dobson a 1 and Power 3 in my ratings. So he dropped the 2 players, which any manager who's good, who's decent, anybody, even we Phillies a manager, you would drop the worst 2 players. You know, you would take out the worst players out the side, the players that underperformed. That's why you got a squad and you bring your best players back in. Ledbetter had that rest. That's what he needed. He can't do 3 games in a week, and he helps the defence a lot. The defence is a lot better with Ledbetter in midfield because he protects the defence. I'm not quite convinced with a 3-4-3. I don't think we can play that system against Ipswich. I don't think we can. But I mean, I agree with Jack. I think Gillingham really, it was there for the taking with that penalty for Gillingham. If they scored that penalty, could we have gotten a win? I just can't see us scoring 2 goals. We had plenty of opportunities in the first half, but we need to be more clinical in front of goal. We really do. I think Luke going 9s. I don't know how that was offside. For me, I thought he was a yard onside. Possibly somebody fouled somebody in the box. That's all I can think about. Because for me, it was a brilliant goal from Luke going 9. Great finish and great performance. That was an average performance. Gillingham better for the first 20, 25 minutes. And then second half we came out, we were only average for the first 15 minutes again. And how long does Phil Parkinson want to wait? Does he want to give us all heart attacks? Does he want to wait the last 10 minutes before bringing subs on? Because if we got players like Jack Diamond on the bench, we got you got Chris Maguire on the bench, and he was waiting, and I was thinking, oh my God, just make a bloody substitution. We should have this game dead and buried by now. But like I say, we're just the average side. That's why we can't take our chances. I'm happy with the 3 points. But we're going to lose some, we're going to win some. Is that good enough for top 2? Probably not. Playoffs, I think playoffs is about the best we can hope for at this moment in time.
Right, okay. I get what you're saying, but I mean, the chances were there, and the fact that, Scowen missing them chances, are just at least the chances are getting created to be missed. Before we go to Sean, Michael, how's your dog?
Oh, she's all right.
I thought she wasn't eating the tea.
She's looking at the screen.
Oh, bless her.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to be good.
Oh.
I'm going to be getting... I think I might be getting my dog on here a bit later on, but she's watching...
No comment.
Yeah, right.
No comment.
Right, Sean, what did you reckon to yesterday then?
Well, obviously I was worried, I must admit, after the Rochdale game. I was at work, and I think I mentioned on one of my interviews that if I'd actually seen that game, listening on the radio was bad enough. If I'd seen it, I probably would have tossed the telly through the window.
It was.
The way with that piss poor, I want that, to be honest. But he's made 4 changes for the game. I think you've got to give him credit there. Parkinson, he took Sanson out, Maguire, Dobson, and Power. And obviously, when the teams are playing well, it's the manager's got to see that, and he made the changes. I think Scowen was brilliant, and he should have scored. I mean, Mike mentioned earlier on that the chance in the first half where got pulled back to him and it's 6 yards out, you've got to score. But the thing I like about Scowen is he gets into them positions, and I thought he played really well. I mean, I can't recall a chance when Power gets into the box and I hit the crossbar run. It's very rare, but I thought Scowen played very well. I think he's been a little bit harsh. You said that the first half that Gillingham were better in this, that, and the other, but I think we had the 3. I mean, the Onai and the disallowed goal, then the 2 clear chances for Scowen. I think we were, the first 15 minutes they were probably a little bit better, maybe, but then we took over the game. And I mean, I think there's only one team winner, but then obviously they got the penalty decision. I think that was a massive, it was a pivotal point of the game, because obviously they got the penalty. If they scored, it could have been totally different. But thankfully, Lee Burge stepped up, and it was a tremendous save. And the urgency swung our way. And they got a red card, and it was a case of obviously it was a late. I think what Terry said earlier on is right. I mean, when you go they went 10 men down, I think that's a chance for the manager to maybe bring somebody with pace on, you know what I mean, like, or change something. Do you know what I mean? To try and stretch them out, but he didn't, and that's only criticism I can sort of see. He doesn't sort of do his subs earlier, but you know, I allows back Parkinson because he made 4 changes. He got it right. We played the 3-4-3. We've got the penalty late on. Maguire put away. You know, cool and calm. He took the penalty really well. And then obviously the second goal, that was just a case of on the break. Gooch done really well, and he put away. And to be honest, I mean, it's what we deserve. We deserve to win again. And people say, well, Gillingham sort of hands up, but I mean, Burge saved the penalty. I mean, you know, and I think after that, with a very quiet, we were dominant, really. I mean, we should be more clinical. I agree. I just, you know, we've won the game, kept the clean sheet, we're back to clean sheets because we conceded 5 goals in the last 2 games. So we're getting back to keeping our, you know, clean sheets, and that's what we'll based our team on. Onto the Ipswich game, which is going to be massive on Tuesday night.
Right, fair point. On the chat. Oh, before we do, you might have noticed our viewers watching Jack Dodds. Jack down there has altered his camera angle. Then you can see his muscles down there. Right, on the chat, Colin Major says, sorry, I should have had a heart monitor on yesterday when you was doing your stream, and good luck with the move tomorrow. So, and that's from all of us down here. Good luck with your move. I'm getting a bit of stick on the chat down here. Chris Scott, anyone else think Wee Philly looks like Uncle Fester? Thanks for that. Wee Philly looks like the Grim Reaper on Bill and Ted. And Andrew Robbins, he looks like Ed Edmondson when he played Eddie in Bottom. All right, well, thanks for your observations, and you're all banned from the channel. Thank you very much. Right then, so yesterday, another clean sheet, back to winning ways. Parky's back. He is the man. Surely he is the man. Mad mistake. How are you, man? You've got to see the positives. Like it or not, it might not be pretty. All right. But it's another 3 points. We're up there and still got a game in hand. We're in the top 6. Parky's the man. Parky's back. We're right, aren't we? We're right. Mad mistake, we're right.
Mad mistake, rant incoming.
Well, I did say at the start of the season, and I'll stand by me words, Parkinson should get the full season. I think a manager deserves to have the full season, and we'll judge him at the end of the season. Now, Ipswich is a massive match during the week. I'd be curious to see what he does. Does he keep an unbeaten side and stay 3-4-3, or does he change it up somehow? But Ipswich is a good mark. If we can get at least a draw against Ipswich, then I'll be a lot happier with Parkinson.
Right. Well, fair dues. Right, very quickly back on the chat before we pass this around. Anthony Lee, which is my mate Tony Lee, says, where's Dino? Pie eating tournament. That's not very nice, that. And then Tommy Ellison. I've got to give a shout out to Tommy Ellison. When we did, when was at Wembley, and we did one of my shows down at this Sports Bar and Grill in Marylebone. We did YMCA, and he got up and did it on stage. It's actually on my YouTube channel if you want to go and see that. Cracking bloke. So hello to you, Tommy. Thanks for joining in. So Jack, as you're our guest, we haven't had your opinion on here on Parky. Parky must be the man, surely, is he?
I fall in the minority of the fan base where I'm a huge fan of Phil Parkinson. I think when he very first came in, me thoughts were to Jack Ross 2.0, a defensive, boring manager who doesn't really know what he's doing. But and you know the proof is in the pudding. The first few games were really disappointing. I mean, you look at Gillingham away last year. I remember I went out to that one. It was there as well. The reaction. It was one of the worst games I'd ever beat in my life. We lost 1-0. I can't having a shot. But it's a couple of weeks later, it seemed as if we're in the best run of form I think I've ever seen since Sam Allardyce. We're absolutely flying. We're scoring loads of goals. We conceded like 2 goals in about 6 games or something ridiculous like that when we changed the 3-4-3. And I think I still really support Parkinson. It seems to change every week, where some fans are in, some fans are out. But to me, I think you've got to look at what he has done, which is that he's absolutely sorted the defence out. Under Jack Ross, we drew 1-1 19 times in the first season. We never improved the defence. Phil Parkinson came in, sorted that right out. And I'm a firm believer that if you can keep clean sheets consistently, that's the best way to go about finishing higher up in the league. If you can keep a clean sheet every week, I know you're not going to keep a clean sheet every week, but most weeks you only need to score one goal, and the chances are you are always going to get a chance. So I'm a huge fan of Parkinson. Obviously, he does wind us up a little bit with his substitutions, but you know, I think if you look at how we've done this season, if you take the last two games out of it, you can't knock the lads. We've had two poor games with Rochdale and Portsmouth, but apart from that, we've barely conceded a goal. Before that, it was only a penalty. And we've managed to score enough goals to get enough points on the board. I think one thing Parkinson does really well is that he set up a system where the lads know exactly what they're doing. Every single one of them, we set up, we have a plan and we execute it. It doesn't always work, but I feel as if you're comparing him to Jack Ross, I didn't really know what the plan was other than give the ball to McGeady, give the ball to Maguire. What's going to happen? So I'm a huge fan of and I'm happy things are going our way again.
Right. Fair enough. I mean, you said there you can't knock the lad. I think Mad Mistake would find a way of doing that, and he might take a bit more convincing. Whilst we're on with you there, Jack, Liam Hutchie on the chat says Jack Dodds is the best on a scooter. I heard.
Hutchie, lad, all right.
Whatever. So, and also because you made a good point there. I think you've gone and knocked Michael's dog out there. I mean, it's he's fallen away there. Michael, another clean sheet then, another 3 points on the board. Parky is back. He is the man, isn't he?
Yeah, I would say that he is. I was quite close to on the fence over the last couple of games, which, given everything I've said, does sound very contradictory and fickle. But I did think there was. Put it this way, I like that Parky has sorted out the defence, and as much as people can bang on about the lack of goals, we don't get forward enough, right? Well, if you look at it, we do actually create a lot of chance. Most games this season, we have created enough chances to win the games we haven't won. Maybe Portsmouth is the possible exception to that. Peterborough, obviously, performance there wasn't great, but I think we had to play that way to get a result there, because Peterborough have scored loads of goals since playing us. But I do like the fact that I've always said bang on about it, and I think, and obviously Jack has said it as well. And Sean has said it as well. If you keep a clean sheet, it gives you a solid foundation and gives you a great chance to win any game of football. You look at it. I'm not expecting clean sheets every game, but if you can keep, say, 20 to 25 clean sheets this season, I would back Sunderland to win 9 games out of those 10. You know what I mean? That sort of ratio. But this is the thing. As much as I think Parkinson is the man, his substitutions really get me wound up, because there was a point yesterday where I didn't think Parkinson was proactive, and he's not proactive anyway enough for me. But yesterday, the second Gillingham went down to 10 men, Maguire should have been on the pitch. Now, obviously, he did come on in the air. He came on with like 10 minutes to go, got the penalty, and got us on our way to 3 points. But as soon as Gillingham went down to 10 men, I thought, and Mad Mistake, I think, might have said it in the chat or something, or he said it somewhere down the line, that I think I keep saying Neil Diamond instead. Jack Diamond, goodness me. Jack Diamond should have come on the pitch as well. And I think because he's unpredictable, because Gillingham won't have scouted him pretty much. He's barely played for the first team. And two, he's got a bit of pace about him. He's got a bit of energy. What's the last thing Gillingham would have wanted to play against when they're down to 10 men and they're having to make up the extra man that they've lost?
Pace and energy.
Exactly. Exactly. So I don't get why Parkinson was just waiting constantly to make the first change. Now, I know not long afterwards he brought Graham on and took O'Brien off, I think. I didn't mind taking O'Brien off, because I didn't think O'Brien had a very good game, even though I could see at least he was putting a bit of effort in, but it just wasn't happening for him. But I thought, get him off, get Maguire on, because he can help pick out a pass that can stretch their back line. And as much as we got away with it yesterday, because of Gillingham, I did think were architects of their own downfall to an extent, because missing the penalty, psychologically, I think that messed with them a bit. They didn't seem to be able to recover from that, and that led to the red card, which then really swung the game in our favour. And credit to Birch for making the save, actually. But I do like Parkinson overall, but I'd like to see him try and take games by the scruff of the neck a bit more, because I was screaming at the stream for about 10 minutes. Where the hell is Maguire? Why have you not brought him on to try and...
Well,
in games coming up, that could cost us if he doesn't book his ideas up there. But, in general, I didn't mind the team that started yesterday. So if he can improve his substitutions, then fair enough. I think we're flying.
Well, not only his substitutions, he's late. I mean, I think we've all said as a criticism of him is that, but I mean, something must be going on with Will Grigg. It was crying out for Will Grigg yesterday, I thought, but he just. I mean, I've got my bet on Will Grigg being the top scorer this season, and it certainly ain't going to happen. I'm with Sunderland. I'll pass this back round. I'll go to Jack, then Jacob, and that. But quickly on the chat, I want to say to Sean, we don't know who this Jamie is, but apparently you and him walking hand in hand down Farrow Beach. I don't know how it's going to. And a lot of people are asking what colour are the shorts tonight, Sean? Pink. All right,
pink.
Pink. I think you've been sat on that chair a bit too long. You've got a little
PlayStation
sweat patch.
chair.
You got a little sweat patch on the back of your little pinky little shorts down there. Go on, Jack. You was gonna quickly jump in with these subs and Will Grigg and what have you, was you?
I agree with the substitutions. I think Michael makes a really fair point about Maguire. I think it was Michael I made a point about Jack Diamond as well. I would have wanted O'Brien off. And someone else as well, Maguire and Diamond, to offer us a bit more creativity and a little bit more pace and energy going forward. I think we've been screaming out, as Michael says, for a bit unpredictability and a bit pace and energy with Jack Diamond can provide. I don't think we've got any players like him other than Gooch, potentially. It's just Will Grigg. I'm really not his biggest fan. I know people see when he's but to me, since he's came in, he's consistently every single game he's had chances to score. He's had open goals. He's had one-on-ones. He's had times where he's had one defender to beat a score. He's had chances for you, and he's not taking them. And
right.
To me, he sometimes just shows a lack of effort.
Right. Oh, right. Okay. You're saying he's had chances and not scored and what have you, but he's not had that run in the team to. I mean, there was Charlie Wyke. As you know, they were all as bad as each other, and then Charlie Wyke's had a little run in the team, and there you go. So, I mean, I get what you're saying about Will Grigg, but you won't be back on the channel anytime soon.
You mean he's just a betting man?
Only kidding, Jack. We're only funny with you, mate. Right, Jacob, we'll go to you. You wanted to jump in anyway, but it's probably your turn. Another clean sheet. Parky's back. He is the man. Yes.
For now, we shouldn't get too carried away. I think when Phil Parkinson first came in, I mustn't lie, I wasn't his biggest fan, particularly the way how he set up his teams. Performances weren't so different compared to. It reminded me of a Jack Ross replacement bus service. That's what particularly that game at Gillingham just before Christmas, where I interviewed the fans and we got beat 1-0. And then we went on that. He changed the formation at Doncaster. We went on that fantastic run, but we played a team who had more quality compared to the rest of the sides in this league. Portsmouth, they tactically figured us out, beat us 2. But the mistake he made is he still kept with the same tactics and formation, and then that contributed us personally, I think, to finishing outside of the playoff places at the end of last season. But it's what I'm still annoyed about. I understand what Michael's saying, is that he is making his substitutions too late in games, and even when he does make subs, they are pretty baffling at times when we need to see games out. He's not bringing on someone who could break up play when we do need to chase the game. He's not bringing on players with pace, but it is Parkinson's way. We're going to have to admit it's not going to be pretty at times. The football's not going to be great to watch, but we can't judge Phil Parkinson properly unless we know what division we're in by the end of the season. It's not done yet. There's still a long way to go. Plenty of twists and turns. Don't judge Phil Parkinson till the end of the season. It's not the finished job, a bit like Michael's wall behind him there. I don't know what kind of painting job that is, to be fair, bloody hell.
Trial and error.
No,
Trying out
but
to see what paint looked best on the walls.
yeah,
Oh,
listen.
it's good now, I must admit.
If Parkinson gets us out of this league, he deserves all the praise. If he doesn't, he deserves every criticism he gets. But it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pleasant. It's not. It's Parkinson's way. We're going to have to accept it. But he is still a decent manager for this league.
Yeah, it's one of them things, isn't it? I mean, it's not necessarily pretty to watch, is it? But he's doing the job, and he. Sean, you're probably Parky's biggest fan of anybody on here. So another clean sheet. He's back. I'm not expecting anything else from you other than, that you want to go walking hand in hand with Parky on Farrow Beach, I would imagine.
Pink shorts.
No, like I say, I mean, in the day, I think Parkinson, he hasn't been backed by the owner at all. I think there's not many people mentioned that really. I mean, I do feel sorry for the bloke. I mean, he gets a lot of criticism. I think, yeah, fair enough. I mean, as the lads said, like the substitutions, he can maybe do that earlier. That would, when you need to change a game if something's not going right. I thought like the game on Saturday when they went down to 10 men, that was a chance there to do a change, maybe change the system or bring somebody else on to mix it up just to confuse the opposition. But no, I like Parkinson. I think, like you say, he's come in, he's had a lot to deal with. Jack Ross, the players were absolutely taking the piss out of Jack Ross, which what I know about now. Obviously, there was little clicks allegedly, you know what I mean? I think he's coming, our defence last season, the season before when Ross had the defence, they couldn't organise a piss up in the brewery, that defence back then. Parkinson's come in and he went for three at the back. Jack Ross did it for a little while during pre-season, but he reverted because he panics. That was the thing with Jack Ross, he panicked to him. Parkinson's, he's went with three at the back. He's brought the right players in. We're keeping clean sheets now. And that's going to be pretty at times. People want to say attacking football, but look, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter as long as we get out of this division, how we get out of this division. As long as we get out of the division, it doesn't matter how we play. You're not going to be watching entertaining top class football. If you want to watch that, go and watch the Premier League, or go and watch La Liga. We haven't done Barcelona. We're in League One for a reason. Parkinson, I've still got faith. I know after the Rochdale game, it was a bit like I was at work and it didn't sound very good. And I seen the goals; it was very poor. But I like Parkinson. I think he's all right for this division. I mean, if he gets us promoted, he's done his job. If he doesn't, he failed. But I still believe that it's going to be tight. It's going to be really close getting that top two. I think we'll be in the top six, definitely. Top two. I mean, Peterborough, they're just like blowing teams away. So they're going to attack some stuff. Charlton, we outplayed in that game down their place. We outplayed them, and look at them now. They've come from nowhere. Do you know what I mean? So Parkinson, I think he's doing a good job. He's had no money to spend, and I think he will deliver promotion.
Well, everybody, I'll come to you in a sec, Madam Mr. Everybody goes through purple patches and stuff like that. When there's, like I said, Charlton are doing all right now, and Peterborough. Everybody yesterday is saying about how the game could have gone either way with Gillingham. Me personally, I thought both penalties were soft penalties. I thought their sending off was a definite sending off. So it's people saying, they got a penalty and they could have scored. They were down to 10 men. Their man deserved to go. So Mad Mistake, you're trying to get in there anyway.
Yeah, a couple of things. I certainly don't feel sorry for any manager of football teams. I don't feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for somebody who has coronavirus, somebody who's not very well, someone has an illness. I don't feel sorry for any football manager. They're getting paid the money to do the job. If they don't do a good job, that's what comes with the job anyway. Second thing, Sean, if we lose to Ipswich on Tuesday night, are you still a massive Parkinson fan? Would you still want them?
Well, for me, Terry, I think we talked about this in the group earlier. When I think this game will show us where we are and how far we've come. Because Ipswich are a good side. I mean, they drifted off last season. For me, I think we've got to get that game and win the game. I mean, and I don't know how much anyone's seen it a draw. Sorry for me, we've got to be going to that game. We've got to get 3 points. Anything less, I'll be disappointed.
At worst, a draw.
Yeah, well, at worst, but I'm saying like, Ipswich have a good side, but they can get turned over, which they have been a couple of times this season. So we've got to approach that game. And I think I mentioned earlier on as well, I would just keep the same team because I think Ledbetter and Scowen work, and I think that team.
Well,
he's got a 3-5-2. I don't know. He's got a 3-5-2.
Well, here we go again. We've on the back of another win, clean sheet, and already Ipswich this, that, and the other. We'll go to Jack, then we'll come to you, Michael. Jack.
I know what you mean, Terry. We said you don't feel sorry for football managers, but I still think Parkinson hasn't had the easiest ride. I think he came into a squad that clearly had its problems. Obviously, I mean, it's all allegedly, but we've heard of the problems of Maguire and McGeady and the clicks.
Yeah.
I think Parkinson inherited a real negative squad, and I think you've got to give him his plaudits because he sorted it out. As well, has he really been backed by the owner? I mean, I think a lot of his signings have been really good. You look at Bailey Wright and a few of the lads who came in, but I don't think he spent a penny because Donald isn't going to back him. So I know what you mean. You don't feel sorry for him, but I don't think it's about feeling sorry for him. I do think that we can at least give him a little bit of leeway and say that, well, all right, maybe we don't feel sorry for him, but he still had a tough. He didn't come into an easy job. He came into a defeated squad with low morale, and he hasn't really been back.
Go on quickly, mad mistake. Then we'll go to Michael.
The feeling sorry comment was just something what Sean said. He said he felt sorry for Phil Parkinson.
All right.
Right. So, right. Okay, Michael.
Right, there was a few points I wanted to touch on. First of all, earlier when Sean said to get out of this division, let's just make this clear so this doesn't get jinxed. We don't mean go down to League Two. We mean go to the Championship. Second thing is, with Parkinson, when people go on about, we don't go forward enough, I looked at when, in 16-17, when he got Bolton promoted to the Championship. Does anyone want to have a guess at how many goals Bolton scored the year they finished second in League One?
Not many.
68.
Go on, mad mistake. You have a guess.
415.
Close.
What's the average that a game?
No,
415 goals.
The correct answer was 68. They scored 68 goals the year that they finished second. So I can already see Jack looks a bit shocked. They're like, "Oh, that few goals and they finished second." So it proves my point. If you're solid enough defensively, it gives you any chance.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I do slightly feel for Parkinson in the sense that Sean's right. Donald hasn't backed him this summer. We have not been backed, and even in terms of getting free signings in, there was enough free signings there that some of the fans wanted. Nangeli being one of them, Madison being another one. That Luke Garbutt, Scott, and I don't know if Donald. We don't know who's at fault for not signing those players. But there you have it. When Parkinson came in, what I will criticise him for last season is that even though it looks like he had a cultural thing that he had to deal with, there was still no excuse for me for those first few months to get the squad from 7th to 16th or whatever it was. That was poor, and I think he rightly deserved criticism for that. But with regards to this, I think Parkinson is good enough to get us to the Championship. That's about his level. I think that if he's got another year left on his contract, I think, after this year. Does anyone know better?
I think so. One more year.
3 years.
I think I would give Park. Well, it's best case scenario. If Parkinson gets us promoted, I would give him to the end. I think he deserves a chance for his last year of his contract to stabilise and just have us be a steady ship in the Championship. But that's as far as what his limit is for me. But for now, I think he is the man for the job. What I would ask, and see if any of you have an answer, if Sunderland didn't get promoted this season, would you sack Parkinson?
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
I know Terry definitely would.
I would, Michael, because in the day he's had a full season and he had the season last as well. So yeah. I would agree with Terry.
Yeah, I probably would.
Right, Jack, you was trying to get in so quickly before we move on. Go on.
Yeah, I actually forgot entirely what I was going to say. But
don't worry about that, because the mad mistake is the king.
The dog will help you remember.
That's it. Michael made a point about he was one of the main criticisms of Parkinson was when he took the squad from like 7th to 16th or whatever it was. But I think that was that Parkinson's fault, or was that more with Jack Ross in McGeady situation where at that time, the squad morale was so low that there was nothing Parkinson could have done about it, and it just took him so long to get his system across. But when it did get across, it worked. That's just what I think.
I would say. Well, it's a good point. But what I would say in response to that is that we did manage to, and I know Tranmere would got awful, but we still beat them 5-0. We beat Southend, yeah, only 1-0. But the point is, I think I do get what you mean. I think the morale kind of was low, but for me, that squad still shouldn't have gone to Gillingham and settled for a draw. That squad still shouldn't have lost at home to Burton from a winning position. Like, obviously, I mean, don't get me wrong. This is because I've still got nightmares about last season's trip to Gillingham. So, you know, that's why I was relieved we won yesterday.
Right. Quickly back to the chat. Oh, Mad Mister, are you on in there?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I have no confidence whatsoever that Phil Parkinson will get us promoted this season.
Oh, behave
yourself. Hang on.
Get off the chat. Can you not move house today, Terry?
Hang on, Terry. So you've said that you don't think Phil Parkinson will get us promoted, but you'll give him the full season.
I don't like sacking managers all the time.
Fair enough.
Listen, everybody's trying to get in it. Right, Jacob, and then we're going to move this down. I need to go back to the live chat, but go on,
Yeah,
Jacob.
no, this is a question for you. So apparently Parkinson's got 1 more year left on his contract. If he does get us promoted this season and in the Championship, he keeps us up in his first season, because I think if we do go up, I think next season will all be about just staying in the league, just getting that first season out of the way. Does he deserve a contract extension, or should we look elsewhere and look to build on with a more attacking manager?
Right. Can I just say, first of all, Jacob, you are the king of when we're going to move on. Jump in with a question, so to stop us moving on. So well done for that.
An important question, man.
You want to respond to that? Go on. I want to save you questions for when we dry up. Right, go on.
If we get promoted this season, and we do get promoted this season, that squad is nowhere near good enough. There's not many. If maybe 1 or 2 players from that squad will make it in the Championship, the rest of them are not good enough for the Championship. Has Stuart Donald got any money to spend in the Championship? He will have to sell that club. Simple as. If he sells that club, the new owner comes in, Parkinson's out the door. Simples.
You have a better chance of selling it in the Championship, though.
Right.
Go ahead, Philly.
Right, listen. I'm glad you went on to. I'm miles behind the chat here because I've paused it on this. Andrew Robbins, the cereal shopper, says he was happy with the win, but for him it's just painting over the cracks. He reckons. Now, DJ Earth on the chat says getting rid of Parky is a nonsense as long as Donald is in charge. Donald needs gone. Now, this is where it brings me on to. We're going to go to you, Sean, on this anyway, because I had to screenshot this when I saw what you'd put on Twitter. But you did this, when was it? I don't know, the other day. I think it might have been after the 2-2 draw, and you said, and you was referring to Stuart Donald, when this man took over, we were doomed. Stuart Donald, you are a disgrace to our once famous club. If you have any class, you will leave and go now before you do any more damage. Now, I want to start with that because it's that thing where it's easy saying go and go now. One, he can't go unless he has a buyer. 2, you know, the suspicion over why is it taking so long? He wants to hang around and whatever. Surely, as a new buyer, if you was coming in to buy this club, why would you agree to buy it now and then take over all the debts of paying bills when there's no revenue coming in from supports and stuff like that? And maybe the delay is that, because from a business point of view, a new owner, it doesn't make sense saying, right, we'll buy it off you now when there's no revenue coming in. So that's what I wanted to start with. But then a follow on to that, Sean, I believe you've been speaking to William Story this week, and he has his views on this buyout. So do you want to kick off with that? Do you want to give us any info on what he said? Are you going to keep it all to yourself?
Come on,
I kind of sort of like say everything what he told us on the phone, but he's basically, in a nutshell, he's saying like this group that's in exclusivity, it's not a takeover. It's basically a switch of hands. So you're talking like Sartori will take another bigger stake in the club. An American businessman, he's going to take another percentage, and then Donald will still keep his share, and so will Salmon Pants. So you're not getting rid of them. It's not a takeover. So if it gets confirmed, all it is, it's just a switch of hands. It's not a takeover. It's just Donald retaining a percentage of the thingy and somebody else taking it on, but he's still in the background. And so Sartori and so Salmon Pants. What William Story says is the offer's been on the table since July. They've been trying to sort it out for months and months now. He says they're just playing hard to get, but he says the last couple of results maybe he's just changed Donald's view and thought, well, I'm not going to fluke promotion this year. Maybe somebody else is going to have to take it on. But William Story's still trying his best to buy the club allegedly. I'm just seeing what he told me on the phone on Friday, and he says the offer's on the table. He has the best offer. He's got two multi-billionaires who's ready to come in. Their offer's on the table. The money could be exchanged from London to his bank account that same day. He's all ready to go, he says. These are the words he told me on Friday.
I think we'll bring you in just now, Terry Allen. What we think we need to happen there is he needs to come up and have a walk hand in hand on Farrow Beach with you to get you know him better. Right, mad mistake. Go on.
Okay. Sean, when I phoned you on Friday, I didn't think you would take it this far.
Wait there. I'll show you. 2 seconds.
Oh, no.
Sean,
we don't disbelieve Sean. William's story.
Sean, we don't disbelieve you, Sean. It's all right. We know that you and him are in bed together, literally. So there's a lot of people saying David Walker down in his story is a fantasist and what have you. To be honest, what he said to you on the phone then on Friday, Sean, is that not what was being said on here the other week, where an American owner was gonna take over, though the current owners were going to stay on in a lesser role, if you like. And somebody even made the comment that what does it matter if Stuart Donald's still here if he only has a minority shareholding? It's the guy with the majority shares who's going to have the power anyway. So should we really worry that much if a new owner came in and they stayed on, Sean?
I just think that's people's going to understand is if it's a takeover, it's basically a takeover. That's Donald's gone, Sartori's gone, Salmon Pants, he's gone, the three amigos is gone. Out of the equation, a takeover is a new owner and his people. If it's allegedly if it's just change of hands, then Donald's still retaining the percentage. Sartori is. Right. Do you know what I mean?
All right. Well, let me put something to you then. It's so. Are you saying that if somebody came in, an American or whatever, had the majority shareholding, yet Donald Methven and Sartori all stayed on in a minor role, that would be no good for you then? Are you? Because it's as good as it might not be called a takeover, but it's a new owner, and that new owner has all the power. The fact that they're still there, is as good as a takeover, is it not?
I know what you're saying, and I know what you're getting at, Philly. It's a fair point. I just think that the people's going to understand if or when it does get confirmed, it's not a takeover. It's just a switch of hands, basically. Do you know what I mean?
Well, call it what you will, a takeover or whatever. It's still new owners who then have a majority shareholder and have the control. Well, just hang on, Sean, because Jack's waiting to get in. Then Michael, and we'll come back to you. All right, Jack?
I know, maybe, it's still a change and it is going to be a new takeover, but we need these three people out of the club because I think it's clear as day that they're only in it for themselves. I think
well said, mate. Well said.
The chances, they've seen an opportunity. I think Stuart Donald thought, I'll take over that club. We'll easily get promoted to the championship. Ellis Short will write the debt off. Yep. We've got loads of players on expensive wages. Their contracts will run out. We'll be in a really lucrative position for someone to buy it. Someone will buy the club, but I'll keep 5-10% or whatever when we're in the championship. And then when we get to the Premier League, I'll sell that share and I can retire. people out of the club, because maybe not Juan Santori, I don't really know much about them, but certainly Donald and Methven, they are only in it for themselves, and we need them out of this football club because they don't have our best interests at heart. By all means, I don't mind if people want to make money out of it, but you've got to do right by the club first. So, I know what you say, but to be honest, I just think we need them out of the club because they don't have the club's best interest at heart, and they're going to kill it because they're only bothered about this football club as long as it benefits them.
Yeah, but the thing is I would much rather Stuart Donald retain a smaller shareholding and end up cashing it in for 20 times what he paid for it. Because if that's the case, it means that the club has become successful because a new owner has taken us on, has made the club worth more money. So, and the fact that Stuart Donald has a minor percentage shouldn't matter because he'll be a non-entity because he won't have any power. Quickly, Michael, you was trying to get in.
Right, there was a few points. I noticed when I was watching the interviews, obviously Sean had the debate about the Ellis Shaw Stuart Donald thing, and obviously for me, it's like I've said before, I don't think it's down to Stuart Donald that we were in League One in the first place. For me, that is Ellis Short. What I will give Sean here, it's Stuart Donald's fault we're still in League One. He's had 2 attempts to get us out of this league and hasn't done it. Granted, the manager and the players have to take just as much blame, but ultimately he's the owner. The second thing is, when the point Phil made earlier about, we're in a pandemic and all this non-revenue from supporters in, takeover thing. Yeah, but if that's the case, then there wouldn't be any negotiations in the first place. There wouldn't be. And Jim Rodwell himself, as much as I think he's Donald's puppet, I think I very much doubt he would tell fibs on the club official podcast. It would not look good if he was telling PARKY'S there. So he was saying that apparently they're quite far down negotiations. For me, the reason people should still be interested in Sunderland because of the size of the club. I know Jacob's point has been, people don't look at the size of the club, but look at it. Sunderland's got massive potential to make money in the long run if you can get them to the Championship. Get the Championship, that valuation increases tenfold for me. As for the minority share thing, Stuart Donald, I do actually agree with Phil on this. I do think that while I would prefer, he's actually getting an ally here. While I would prefer these didn't stay on in any capacity. Especially Juan Sartori as well, because he's done nothing but smile and look happy on camera. I'd prefer that these guys got out the door altogether. But if you're going to have them retaining, would people rather them retain a small stake or retain a majority stake? Phil's right. If they're going to, as much as I would want them gone altogether, if they're just going to retain a small stake, they're not. I hardly expect them to make the calls on the big decisions. It'll be whoever comes in and succeeds them as the majority shareholders that will do that.
Quickly, on the chat, Liam SFC 16 says, where are we at? I've lost him already. He reckons the American is Glenn Furman, whether that is or not. Was going to go to Sean, then we'll come to you, Jacob. Sean?
What was it again, Philly?
Well, you wanted to be in before Jack and Michael, but we'll go to, right, Jacob?
Yeah, with the current ownership situation, I personally don't think we'll see any proper developments within our club until next summer, because I think this is the most crucial season in the club's history in terms of, because we have to get out of the league this year. Trying to sell a club when you're in the Championship is far greater than when you're trying to sell a football club in League One. Honestly, if you're trying to sell a football club in League One, it makes the task 10 times harder. I know, there's been comments about saying that right now it's so difficult to purchase football clubs because of the state the world's in right now with the coronavirus pandemic. But then again, you're hearing news about, was it Burnley? Was it a £200 million takeover?
Yeah, exactly.
From was it Egyptian? Is it an
Egyptian
take? Something like You think if only something like that would happen at our football club, it would totally regurgitate our city.
Well, that's the difference. I mean, you're talking the likes of Burnley to I know Sunderland are a massive club, but we're in League One, and I think it's down to the people who are going to buy the club. If they are multi-billionaires, then buying it in a pandemic is not a problem. You can go ahead and do that. But if these people buying the club haven't got just money to throw away, then it just doesn't make sense buying it now when you've got, you know, you're going to have to pay the bills with no income coming in. Michael, and then we'll go to Terry, and then I want to try and get on to Ipswich if I can before we go. Michael, quick as you can.
Yeah. Okay. What I would say is I do agree that I think there is point to that, but I would be heavily disappointed if there weren't people interested in buying Sunderland. People would look at us as people would look at us as the potential to make money down the line. We'd be in a much better state than what a lot of other. I'll prepare a bet off the field. Well, I know it might not feel like it. Off the field, it wouldn't surprise me if we were in better state than even some bottom end championship clubs. It wouldn't even shock me there. So I mean, as much as I do get what Phil's saying, I'll be pretty disappointed if there was nobody credible interested in buying Sunderland.
Right. So, mad mistake.
As much as I want Donald out, if it was a choice of Donald being in full control of the club or Furman coming in, Donald having 10% or whatever it is, I'll take the Furman in charge.
I agree. Right, just very quickly, Tommy on the chat says there's been no big arguments tonight. Where's Tino? He said that Dino caused all the arguments. I don't think so. Right, I want to get on to, because we're running out of time. We've got Ipswich on Tuesday night. I quickly want to get your predictions and then ask you a quick question on it. So, mad mistake, Tuesday night, Ipswich.
Are we home or away?
We're home.
We're at GM.
You know what it is? I think we're going to lose. I do think we're going to lose, but I'll see a 1-0 victory, but I think we'll get beat.
So you feel a 1-0 victory, but you think we're going to get 1-0 Sunderland, yeah? Yeah.
I can never predict us to lose, but my heart says 1-0 victory. My heart says 1-0 victory, but my head's saying it's a defeat.
Right. Well, what I don't want you to do is coming back on here next time saying I put 1-0 down, but I did say we were going to lose. All right, edging your bets.
I hope my head's completely wrong and my heart wins the battle.
Edging your bets there. Sean, what do you think for Tuesday?
I'm going to go for Sunderland 2, Ipswich 0.
2-0 Sunderland. Michael?
I'm going to go for the Jack Ross special scoreline.
2-1. No, 1-1.
No, that's not Jack Ross's special, man. That's too positive.
So you're going for a 1-1. Jacob?
2-1 to the lads, but we'll come from a goal down to do it. 2 late goals, Gooch and Maguire.
Very Pacific, Jacob.
Yeah, I know. I mean, because it's hard enough. It's hard enough getting the result without giving it the, Maguire in the 79th minute. Jack, what do you think for Tuesday?
I'm very, very tempted to go with the Jack Ross special of 1-1, but I think I'm actually going to go with what my head says and not my heart, and I'm going to go with Sunderland 0, Ipswich Town 1.
Oh, Jack.
Would a draw be a bad result?
You've been bad from the channel 2 nights running. Bad from the channel twice in one night.
Terry, you saying you can't predict your team to lose? Me and Jack have done it in the last few days.
Right, well, for me, Mr. Positive, I'm going for a clean sheet again, and I'm going to go for 2-0, is what I'm going to say. So we're playing Ipswich on Tuesday night. A quick plug for myself, Sean, and Michael are going to be doing a live stream, probably because we won't have competition from the Mad Mistake. Are you doing one on Tuesday or not, Terry?
If I can get hotspot to work, I will.
Oh, I hope your hotspot fails.
So I'll be giving you a call, Philly. I'll be giving you a call on Monday night.
Right, all right. So there is that. I mean, if Terry's doing a live stream as well, tune into his because his is far superior to ours. But if not, join us on the channel. We'll do a live stream of Sunderland versus Ipswich. All right. So the question is, Tuesday night. Let's say we lose to Ipswich. Are we back in the doldrums again? If we lose to a side who are going to be there or thereabouts, right, at the end of the season, it's one game. Is it that bad? Jacob, you're nodding your head. Is it? Is that it? Is that the season over?
No.
I think
it shouldn't be considered that.
For me, though, I think if we're going to get promoted this year, we need to take our advantage against teams who are going to be up there. But I don't think a point on Tuesday will be a bad result. If you offered me that now, I would take it. I think a draw against Ipswich won't be too bad. But I would like us to show ambition with that, with Phil Parkinson tactically, if we are drawing the game, he doesn't play for a point, we do go for it because we do need all the points. I know we're still early on in the season, but a win on Tuesday would just be huge, man.
Well, surely, I'm sorry saying go for it, that would be nice, but surely the number one aim on Tuesday night is keeping a clean sheet. It's got to be.
Exactly.
Alan Gardner on the chat says 4-1 Ipswich. Taffy Mackham, our friend Taffy Mackham, says Sunderland 0, Ipswich, and then in brackets, insert a number between 1 and 5 here. He's got us down as going to get beat. Michael, you're trying to get in?
Right, okay. What I would say is that I would have took a point on Tuesday had we beat Rochdale, because I want us to be over 2 points per game. What I would say, though, is I do get Jacob's point about that we need to be, it'd be nice, good to beat teams around us, but remember, not beating teams around us, even if we didn't lose to them, I think that sometimes we haven't been promoted the last 2 seasons because we've dropped points against teams in the bottom 2/3 of the division. So that's all. I think that sometimes gets overlooked.
Right, Jack, if we lose Tuesday, is that it? Game over?
Is it? I don't know. I was saying with Michael. I said it yesterday when I was doing the interview with Sean. I said, look, if we'd had better results against Rochdale and Portsmouth, if we beat Rochdale, or if we drew against Portsmouth, then maybe I would pick up tomorrow. On Tuesday. Because of the way the results have went in those 2 games, it is absolutely crucial. We have got to take all 3 points to make up for it. We then get to a point after that where we'll look at games like Ipswich Town and Peterborough and say, all right, I'll take a point now. We've got to see that game as we've got to make up for the past 2 games, excluding yesterday.
Yeah,
we've got to use it to make up for the bad results.
Listen, it's one of them things. I mean, there was Hull and Lincoln lost yesterday. It happens. It's you know, if we get a draw, I know that if we only even draw on Tuesday, people will be on here and all over going, "Oh, that's
wouldn't be a bad result.
It wouldn't be a bad result. No.
Let's go to Sean, then we'll go to the man mistake for the last word. In his home for the last time. He's sleeping in his bed in his home for the last time. So Sean, and then we'll let the mad mistake have the last word.
Just quickly, say it won't be the end of the world if we don't win, but I mean, we beat them last season 1-0. I mean, it was a close game, but I think it's a tough game, and I think after this game we'll see how far we've come, and there'll be a tough nut to crack. And I'll be devastated. Tuesday night will be a good live show. I mean, it'll be great, I think, because I'll be up for it. But if we get beat, I'll be devastated. Even the draw, I'll be a bit down. But we've got to try and win that game. I mean, close the gap as well, and I think we'll win. I'm confident.
I hope so. I hope so.
All right. Liam, SFC 16 says Sunderland versus the Farmers. No, it's the Tractor Boys. My way, man. Get it there. Go on quickly, Sean, and then man mistake, because we're way over time. I've got my tea.
Philly, my friend Steve Cassidy is obviously on.
I go, whoa. Let me stop you there. As soon as you said my friend, obviously that's a lie.
Friend. What do you mean? There's a friend here. A friend here.
Right, go on then. Your friend.
Steve Cassidy is obviously doing organising a fundraiser for the help the Sunderland kids, the Sunderland Food Bank. Since the government aren't helping our kids, he thought he'd try and raise £200 for the Sunderland Food Bank with the COVID and Christmas coming up. Some families might not even be able to feed their kids, themselves or the kids. It's heartbreaking. So if you can give 50 pence or a few quid, just a little bit, it'll help. So please, if you can, help Steve Cassidy. He's funny.
I'll tell you what, that's excellent. And I'll tell you what, Sean, if you can send us details of a link where donations can be made, we'll put that in the description on this video. So if people want to click it and donate some money, it's a fantastic cause.
Well done, Steve Cassidy. Well done, mate.
Well done you for that. Well done. Do that. Get those details to me, Sean, and we'll get that in our description. The final word on tonight is going to go to the mad mistake who is moving house tomorrow. He's sleeping in his bed in his current house for the last time tonight. So the last word goes with you, the mad mistake. What do you want to say?
I'm absolutely shattered. Right, that's a good cause, that food bank cause, brilliant cause. If we lose against Ipswich during the week, we'll be 7 points behind them. I think we've been bang average all season. I do think we've been bang average all season. No fantastic performances, no great performances, no class performances. We've had decent performances, but that's about it. We cannot afford to lose against Ipswich. We have to at least get a point. But we have to, I want to see Phil Parkinson and the team come up with a really good display. Get out there, be gritty, you know, be in Ipswich faces from the beginning.
Yeah.
Get out there and perform. Don't
Early
sit
goal.
back, let Ipswich come to us. Let's get on them. Let's get through their midfield. Let's get up there and give it 100% from every single player. And Phil Parkinson, don't leave your subs too late. Let's get 3 points. This is a massive match. Massive match. I want to start off my new house with 3 bloody points.
Good man. Now, I did say we were going to give the Mad Mistake the last word. However, Jack, as a newcomer, has decided to steal your glory. He's got his hand up there. Jack, away, man. The lad's he's in his house for the last time. He's moving house. He's shattered. And you want to steal his glory. Go on, then.
No, I just want to say, although obviously, you know, it's hugely important that we get the 3 points on Tuesday night. I'm contradicting myself because I've just said how important it is. But I think it's also important to remember that in League One, you can afford to actually drop a lot of points as long as you make them up. Because look at Luton, they won the league in the first season. Look at the amount of games they lost. I don't think they drew much, but they lost some of the games. That went up has lost a lot of games because League One is so poor. If we do lose on Tuesday, although we need to get the 3 points. We need to remember that we've got so many more games to go, and as long as we do well from that point on, and we sort ourselves out, and we win most of those games, then we could be up by Easter.
Right, go on then.
Passionate speeches. Away the lads.
Away.
Right. Sean doesn't like salmon pants, but he likes pink pants. Pink pants. What's the difference?
Salmon.
Salmon pants, pink pants. They're both terrible.
So there you go.
Those ones are nice. I like
There we
them ones.
go. Oh, yeah, fashion show. Right,
Striped
look.
ones.
Listen, we're well over time.
Are they your lasses?
We're well over time. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, this Tuesday night from 6:45, join us on the channel. We'll be doing a live stream of Sunderland versus Ipswich. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Give us a thumbs up. If you don't like what we do, give us a thumbs down. Just do what you do, but please subscribe. It's absolutely free to do so. Thanks for tuning in. A massive thank you to our guest tonight, Jack Dodds. Give him a round of applause. Woo!
Well done, Jack. Well done.
And from myself, Wee Philly, from Sean Middleton, from Jacob Kirkbride, from The Mad Mistake, and Michael Bowers, and of course our guest, Jack Dodds. Good night, and we will see you on Tuesday. Bye-bye. Woo-hoo!
Away the lads. Come on.